Alrighty. Turns out, what the fuck's it called? Not MySpace, I was just on the goddamn thing. Facebook. There you go. I saw the thing, record a video, so I record a video, it makes a little story, and of course, I'm like, duh, what's going on? Then it dawned on me, my brain says, hey buddy, make a YouTube video, fucking record that and upload it. So that's what I'm doing. Anyway, hi guys, I am here. Try to get a clear shot for you. Take off my damn hat. Don't drop my fucking phone again. There we go. So anyway, I'm at a hospital not too far from Bay Pines, which is Bay Pines, Florida, close to Tampa and all that. What is it? A couple months back, I can feel the tumor growing back, and I can feel the effects and symptoms, and ignored it, isolated, stayed at home until I started getting not bad, but headaches again and all that, and went into the ER, and they took another MRI and went ooh, and then made an appointment with my oncologist in Bay Pines in order to get the ball rolling so I can get into the hospital. And the best way to do that is have him do it, or have him recommend on a sheet of paper, whatever they do, that I go to the ER. I went to the ER and then I got admitted at Bay Pines. And Bay Pines, they're going through their sequence, more MRIs, things, figure out what to do, what's going on. The bottom line behind that was maybe they couldn't do much and they're going to send me home, for a month until I can figure out, a neurosurgeon and steps like that. Well, a neurosurgeon over here at the hospital where I'm at, and my doctor, who was, when I was in the hospital, somehow they touched bases, and the day I was going to discharge and go home and for a month, which would have killed me, by the way, I wouldn't have survived that. My swelling would have gone too much. He saw it. He says, "Oh no, we want you to transfer him over to the civilian hospital over here, and they're a really good neurosurgeon, all that stuff. They want to evaluate me," and so they did all that. And the evaluation is the tumor is definitely growing back. Tumors, can be, it's not as dangerous as it was before. It's not, but the swelling is bad. The swelling was getting bad enough where I was starting to shove my brain to the right again, all that stuff. And so they admitted me. And after a bunch of freakouts and everything, because literally I felt like I was a mushroom here. I felt like I was being ignored. I felt like my needs were being addressed. I didn't even see nobody who I needed to see, and meanwhile they have me on the stuff that keeps swelling down. It makes guys get small dicks and big muscles, whatever the fuck that shit is. They put me on that, and when they put me on those for that, I get I guess you'd say more angry than usual, hyper. I can't sleep, can't sit down, and they knew I had post-traumatic stress disorder from the Army, but they didn't these guys never seen it, really the effects. So all this stress from knowing that I probably could die in a few days, to the drugs they're giving me to keep the swelling down, to the no sleep, to feel like I'm trapped in a place that doesn't understand me. Horrible. I was just flipping. I was losing it, and then somebody recognized it and started taking actions, that because I was losing control of all the stuff that I was taught at the PTSD unit, what to do when you start, the anxiety starts going crazy. I don't know if it's a bad way to sound, but I said flat out, if you're not going to let me go and walk around and get some of this energy, if you're not going to, let me leave this floor, I said, I think the way I feel right now, I would rather just go home and die from brain swelling in a week than deal with this. And then it hit them. They're like, oh shit. Finally, I talked after lying around for like 3 days, not seeing anybody I need to see. Finally, I saw my neurosurgeon. My neurosurgeon is a cool cat. He's a Air Force veteran. Him and I clicked totally smooth, and we were talking about everything. And I explained the situation for him, and he's watching. I'm just barely holding it together because I cannot be cooped up like this. I can't, I can't. There's no place for the energy to go, and I have no way. All my locks and things I put in place to keep me from doing stupid shit are gone. And I said, and it's against hospital policy if you a patient, if you were a patient, you're wearing where the hell is it? There it is. Let me see if I can find it. An IV. You cannot. Generally, you can't leave your floor. Definitely cannot go outside. Okay. And it's just policy. And of course, no smoking outside and everything else. This guy and the guys on the there's neurology, and there's the guys who do chemo and all that. I can't remember their names. These are some major doctors here. I mean, everybody started getting involved because my mom started getting on the phone. My dad did. Everything else is saying, look, you guys need to do something about this guy because this man's you know, whatever the equivalent is that, losing it. You're making it worse. He immediately signed the order, which is unheard of in this civilian hospital. That says this particular man can leave his room. Obviously, he can leave the floor. He can walk all around the building. He can go outside and smoke. Broke every rule, and people are just like, "What the fuck? What are you special?" And I'm like, "No, I'm human." And somebody finally realized that you need to sometimes bend the rules in order to help save someone's life. And it's not like I'm doing this. I'm gonna be a dick and just act like this. I couldn't stop the way I was feeling. It was all these, I get emotional storms, chemical storms from my brain because my brain's, where if I'm sitting here, there's a cell growing. It really starts acting bad. Add that to no sleep from the med. I'll get it. I keep forgetting it. But add that to that. Add that to foreign environment. Add that to an environment that is just not VA. I've only done VA. I've never done civilian. This place feels too bureaucratic, too much like you're just a number, and the bottom line, blah blah blah. I have no idea where I was going with that, but we talked. We realized it. He realized I'm not trying to, be. I just want to, use the system, and he did it. And I guess I just did something unheard of. I had a regular hospital realize that their patients are human, and their patients are individuals, and their patients have different needs, and you sometimes have to reevaluate the situation and bend the rules, and he did. And I don't abuse it at all. These guys know I get up and I can't sit still, and I go and walk. And I need human interaction now. At home I don't. That's the problem. That's why I probably have all these issues. I don't do anything at home, and I don't interact with people, and I don't mind. But if I'm here and all this, and I feel like I'm in a complete foreign environment with no control, I need to interact. I need something to just keep myself distracted. So that's what I do. I go outside and have a cigarette, which makes me feel so much better. I walk, until I get a little bit. I tell them in the unit, um, I'm going to be gone 6 minutes at most, and I do. I don't abuse that stuff, I don't rub it in anyone's face. So, um, what else? I'm doing everything I can to cope, to make myself feel like that everything's going to be okay. Which is it's not, but it's all right. I'm just glad that I'm just glad the smart thing I did was realize when I'm having issues that I can't control. In the past, I would take myself to a safe place, the VA, where they taught me a lot, or I wouldn't be here right now. So, I'm just really, really, really worried about Wednesday. Um, I've had really good, confident times and attitudes, but right now I'm having a little weak moment. Um, a lot of things could happen Wednesday. It's a year later. Um, uh, hang on. It's a year later. I could have a stroke. I could have um, brain damage, mild enough where it's going to take it'll take. I'll die from the other cancer, which I'll tell you about, um, before that mild brain damage heals itself effectively. I could have full on brain damage where I'll be useless, and I got to do that tomorrow. I got to let them know that if I end up with pretty much not knowing who I am, not knowing what's going on, pretty much a lump of flesh, I got to find a way they can legally basically put me down. There's no need for me to live at that point, and that's just being honest. Nobody needs to deal with that. Um, and of course, I could die. That's just from the surgery, okay? But I think it'll go okay because I'm pretty tough. But it I just had so much finality hitting me that I know I am absolutely at the end of my life. So I'm just trying to extend it a little bit longer. And on top of that, this is really what got them getting the VA and them talking together. Is on my frontal cortex, my front left cortex. Everything's on the left. I have the other type of cancer. I guess he described it as lady fingers, like lacy stuff or something like that. And they literally they can't be operated on because they go into my soft tissue through my forehead, my forehead area and all that. So you can't just, weave this thing around. And actually, can't just go pluck them out like a um, like a snake or something. Because no, it doesn't work that way. So my first hurdle is getting rid of the getting rid of this tumor that's growing back successfully, surviving it in a even I'll take half functionality. I'll bounce back from that in about a couple months. But the other one is if they cannot do radiation and chemo to kill off those will kill me. There's a name for them too. I'm gonna call them filaments. Filaments of cancer. They absolutely, positively will kill me if they cannot do anything about it. I don't know when. That I get that discussion later and all that stuff. So, um, but here I will re- repeat what a lot of you guys say to me, and reflect. Um, Hang on, let me get my train of thought back one more time. the doctors, when they're telling me this, said, you know what, we don't know you, but you are one tough motherfucker. Or basically, he said son of a bitch and all that. So, he's like, you know, pretty much that's the gist of it. And as my choice for the surgery and everything else I'm doing right now, and of course I said, let's do it. You know, I, I'm not ready to die just yet. I have a few more things to do, and this time when I get done with this, if I'm functional and able to do it, I'm gonna take care of, doing this if I can. Stop sitting at home, moping, watching just movies to ward off depression and just playing video games just to pass the time, and so I can forget the fact that there's a time bomb in my head, the Reaper sitting there literally sitting on my shoulder, fucking with me. I've got to not do that. I've got to not isolate. I've got to take care of things, and the only way to do that is to get off my ass and do it. And so that's what I want to do. Okay. I'm gonna change the subject now. That's the thing. Wednesday, the 22nd, I think, coming up here. Brain surgery. At damn it, I am tired of forgetting what the name is. Give me a second. I will do it this way. The old trusty wallet. I took a picture of it, of where I'm at, and put it on Facebook. So I don't know if you guys saw it. Come on, you motherfucker. Here it is. Okay, I am at Largo Memorial Central? I think I'm at Central. Hold on. Hey, can I bug somebody? Sorry, can I bug somebody? We at Largo Memorial?
Largo Medical Center.
Largo Medical Center, okay. And is this not that Central West or whatever? Is there a certain? Oops, sorry. Is there a certain location or anything?
It's just like called the main campus.
Okay.
I mean, like what floor?
No, because there was a confusion that there's like they call it like there was another name added to the name.
Oh, they could have called the sister hospital.
Well,
The VA called?
No. I'm trying to give an address to my friends where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
I always will just say, like, Largo Medical Center, main campus, 14th Street.
14th
Like
Street.
the 14th Street campus, the new hospital.
That's where we're at right now.
Yeah. 14th
We
Street.
have, like, there's, like, a freestanding ER, there's a psych facility down the street. That's closer to Indian Rocks Beach, but this one, we just call it 14th Street.
Okay, 14th Street. Got it. So I want to make sure I had that correct because I remembered the pizza delivery driver telling me something about an additional name on the end of that.
Yeah, no, we're just put main campus, 14th Street.
All right, I appreciate it. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good.
All right. You guys get to watch me interact, huh? Isn't it fun? Here, while I'm coming in, this is my bedroom I get. I get my own bedroom. Look at the size of this fucking thing. Let's see. This, you could put 2 beds in this room, and they only have it set up for 1 for me. All right. Let's see if this comes up in reverse. I bet it does because it's a camera. That's where I'm at. Largo Medical Center, right up the road from Bay Pines. They ambulanced me right on over here to do this. Now, why was I talking about that? I don't remember. Oh, so this is where I'll be. I guess I forgot again. This has been happening. I'm fine if I'm not concentrating on stuff. If I'm doing conversation, just like I was over there, I don't stutter, I don't lose track of what the hell I was saying. But if I try to start focusing, I gotta quit saying it, I it'll mess myself up, and that's due to the nature that there are a shitload of cancerous brain cells inside my head fucking with everything because they're taking up space that that they're killing off cells and they're taking up space and causing goofy stuff. You guys don't realize what happens when the chemistry in your brain starts getting messed with. The weird stuff that happens. I hallucinate. Usually on the right peripheral, it looks like somebody's moving, or it looks like the wall just crawled for a brief second. And everything was fine for quite a few months after the surgery. I think 2 months after the surgery, I had to go to the what do you call that? To the chemical storm, I guess. My brain readjusting. Oh my mom, I fucking hated that, you know. And my brain readjusted. Everything bounced back, and then I isolated. Didn't want to. I did my treatment, and then I just wanted to go home and get away from people and all this, and then didn't do as I did follow-ups, not as timely. Well, now it's coming back, so it's making life just a little bit more of a bit of a pain in the ass. My memory, if I'm not trying to think about complicated things, no problem. Conversational English, there you go. Just flows right off. In fact, I was talking to my doctor. He's like, "You sound fine right now." I'm like, "Yeah, what do you see if I try to actually have to think about something that I'm creating as far as, a concept, it can really mess with me." And that's been getting worse because the tumor, period. 3 months ago, I was all right. I was just having, some just small problems, nothing major. But now they're pretty bad. I can't, off and on, I can read what people are writing to me. If I first glance at it, my brain initially will say, I see this word, this word, this word, I know what it means. If I look at a paragraph or anything somebody writes, if it's not literally simple sentences, after the first few words, my brain will start thinking the word something else. It'll flip-flop and move them back and forth. Basically, and I have to take that under firm control to stop it from doing that by looking at the word, sounding out, and trying to spell out each one. And that's really difficult. I'm supposed to do it, but it's really difficult. I do not mind you guys typing stuff to me. I do not mind at all. Just understand that odds are I probably will not be able to understand what you're saying. Not one bit. As much as I try. But do it. It's good for you to write. It gets off your chest. It's good for me to see that people are talking to each other and talking to me. Thank you. Yeah. I think it's it. All my muscle memory still works. I can still type. If I unfortunately if I go to look at the keyboard, and if I just for a nanosecond forget what I was gonna write, I'll be like shit, and my coordination gets fucked up, and I'll start typing on like the wrong set of keys and things like that. Outside looking in, if I was watching myself and I knew myself perfectly well like I do, I'd be kind of laughing at some of this stuff. Muscle memory. So you bring a computer in here. This is the creepy part. You bring your computer in, there's something wrong with it. As long as I don't have to read anything, but if it's hardware, bam, 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 done, just like that. I'm like, wow, that's weird. Learning new stuff. I learn now. I have to learn through my ears, not my eyes. Um, um, yeah. Oh, I remember now. I was gonna say. After these doctors and nurses and all these people who are not veterans, I mean the veterans and doctors all know that, but the ones who aren't used to dealing with veterans um, with psych issues, you know, for I do, I have psych issues, which since I treated them, but I didn't stay on top of them, you know, I keep slipping, but I think I do pretty good. And not doing drugs to medicate in anymore and everything like that. Um, but once these people realized what I've been going through and what I've gone through, I was told by doctors at this place, you know, that they are absolutely fucking amazed that I am still holding it together, basically. And I mean, I getting complimented like that in an environment like this when I know I am barely holding it together, that helped. That helped a lot. So, my brothers said, other people said it. We don't know how you've done this. You know, all the shit you've got. Put yourself through all the shit you've gone through in your life. You know, as far as military and then you know the results of PTSD and the psych damage, and then they're doing the drugs and fucking with that. Um, how I keep getting up and driving on, you know, nothing else I can do. And I'm I'm very, very happy that I've been maintaining. This is it's absolutely some of the most heaviest stress a person could go through is what I'm doing. And if I did not go to all those, if I didn't go to all those rehabs at the VA to learn how to, you know, rewire or rethink my thinking, and if I didn't go to all those um, inpatient PTSD therapy, or I can't remember what exactly they're called, over at North Chicago VA to learn cope, to learn there's other ways, you know, to figure out why this is happening, you know, how to try to treat it, you know, the anger issues, the guilt issues, the wanting to self-medicate issues to cover it all up, the pain. If I didn't learn from them, I wouldn't have made it through my brain cancer the first time, period. And so I really am glad somehow I sucked it up and started, you know, doing all the therapy. And I wouldn't have done the therapy if it wasn't for Ken Hamilton, Tiny, and I think it's Eddie. He was a Navy guy at the time. I'm sorry, buddy, I can't remember your name. But it sure is Ed. Ed and Tiny, and I did something pretty bad. In fact, it's something, you know, I think it's the whole horrible thing you do, but I couldn't help myself. As like I was watching myself just do stupid shit to my friends. They drove me to the North Chicago VA. What's that called? Not an interdiction, but intervention. And I got inside and got in, and that's where I got the ball rolling to start learning how to go to groups and learn how to communicate to people and learn how to, you know, this is what's going on, and learn how to try to fix it. My problem is every time I did that, everything was fine. I'm on good meds, you know, like um, you know, not antihistamines, antidepressants. I'm on stuff that lets me sleep. That's not non-addicting. I use exercising, but as soon as I get home, as soon as I get away, I isolate and start going right back in my old bad habits, and it just hits me. It just catches up on me, and everything. So that was what I kept going through. So I hope I'm not babbling too much, guys. I'm just throwing stuff down on here, just because I can't really type it. If I try typing, sometimes it's hit or miss. I can actually type a sentence, and other times it's just garbage. So I need to start recording these, and I'm also, like I said, being morbid. I can't shake it, and I'm trying. That I cannot shake it that the possibility exists I may not survive the surgery, even though a good majority of myself says you're fine. But I'm just, it's hard this time around. So I wanted to at least have something down for posterity or recording. I don't know. Maybe it's vanity. You know what? Fuck it. Maybe because I feel like it. So. And it's easier, by far, guys, trying to type shit to you. No offense. All right, so let's say all this goes down good. I'll be here. I come back either to this hospital room or another one. After being in ICU for 1 or 2 days, and then stabilize a bit more. And then the plan is to send me back over by ambulance to Bay Pines VA hospital, and this is where I could use any help from anybody who knows people who have some pull, just on the off chance they say, here's what I want. I wanted to leave from here to Bay Pines after the surgery, and I do not want to become an outpatient. I want to go back into the CLC, which is a community living center, and stick by my guns, get healthier, and get on the chemo and the radiation treatment to try to treat the cancer in the forehead now, and all that. And they have the option to not do that, and of course I've been an asshole in the past, so I have an option to screw that up. But if you guys know anybody in the government who if push comes to shove, can say no, keep this man here, and convince someone, please do, please. Now let's assume they say yes, you're coming back. We're going to have you come back into Bay Pines. We're not discharge you after a week. We're going to let you go to the program. Then I will be there here at Bay Pines easily 6 weeks and everything, and doing that. So Bay Pines, remember, is obviously where Tampa's right next to us, St. Pete, stuff like that. I'll let you figure it out. You have Google Maps. They send me home, and that's for appointments. That's going to be very, very difficult, because it's difficult for me to get from appointments from where my mom lives. The Cape Coral / Fort Myers VA part of the clinic, it's a bitch. It's a hardship tour to get to. I can do it, but I don't know what kind of condition I'll be in as far as to be able to do it. I can't drive no more. I can no longer drive a car. So I have to take the bus, and then ride like 2 hours or an hour and a half to go to these appointments, and then do the same thing back. And it's been admitted that's pretty much a hardship kind of tour at my type of health. It's just it's going to cause more problems than good. Bay Pines, if I have to go to an appointment in Bay Pines, it's a 2.5 hour drive. Try that out. So that's why I'm going to try to become an inpatient again and work from there. So that's what's going on, guys. I hope I'm understandable. Don't mind all the weird snapping, weird noises. I easily have been awake. Well, minus, some, I don't know what you call that, stirred, mixed sleep, restless sleep, uh, dreamless, whatever sleep, 2 or 3 days. So I make funny noises and do goofy stuff because I'm so used to being by myself, I don't even notice it. But you guys, please have fun and do some laughing and everything. Yeah, and I gotta remember tomorrow to sit down and cut all my hair off because I'm sure they're just gonna go bzzzt on one side. And the last year when I got brain surgery, they did that, and it made a bastard of a scar on my skull. Well, they didn't shave my head completely, absolutely bald before they cut it open, which I don't have to. But boy, you know what? Because the scalp wants to crinkle inward while it's growing back easily for 3 to 5 months. There's microfiber hairs over from my scalp sewn into each other, and it's, oh my God, it itch. So I will work on trying to cut my hair before the surgery once I talk to my doctor and everything. But so let me reiterate. Keep typing on Facebook. Understand that it's a very rare moment in history that I can actually understand what the hell you just typed. Calling me is good. I don't mind. If I don't answer, even if I know you, I just honestly, it's because I just don't feel like it. It's not an insult to you. It's just a matter of I can't deal with it. If I do answer, I'll try to give you my attention span as long as possible before I just start feeling antsy or just, don't want to talk on the phone. And it's not an insult to you. It's just, it's hard. But I do like talking to people. That's the best way to communicate with me, is to call me and everything. Remember, right now my mind is flighty a little bit. Things can be hard to focus on. But I appreciate the fact if someone took their time out, even if they barely know me and decided to, just talk to me for a second, even for a second, that's cool, because I was never really that guy, I was never like, oh, I'm gonna call my buddy, see how he's doing. Too much of a fucking selfish, self-centered fucking loner prick. And my friends accepted that. That's what I hated. Apparently they did, because I still have friends. But I'm me, you're you. Stay that way. What else? I think this is a long enough conversation for now. So I'm gonna get a raspy voice, and I gotta pee like a racehorse, and I'm gonna sneak on down and have a smoky treat. So, yeah. Thanks for being friends, guys. I appreciate it. I gotta go.